Welcome to Cooking Together Generations. I'm Amanda. Behind me is my dad, Brock, and this is my grandpa, Tom. Today we're making some summer corn salad, but first my grandpa's going to tell you a little bit about the story of cooking together and how we got started.
Well, as your grandma would have said, by happenstance, about 30 years ago, we ended up teaching cooking classes, authoring two cookbooks, and appearing on the local Fox affiliate morning show once a week with a cooking segment. That grew and grew and grew over the 10 years. We did our second cookbook in 2002, and shortly after that we moved into town from the country to this villa, and that's when we discovered that Joyce had breast cancer. And so we stopped doing most of the cooking things, except we continued to do recipes for our family and for our friends. And shortly after her death, I was looking at those recipes and decided to proceed with doing the cookbook we'd always planned on doing. So we do have a new cookbook coming out called Cooking Together Revisited. But today, as Amanda said, we're doing a summer corn salad. Little tip for everybody: we're taking fresh corn. We're taking the fresh corn and taking it off the cob for this recipe. If you want to take corn off the cob, easy way to do it is to use your bundt pan and take the point and stick it into the bundt pan, and you can simply take your corn right off the cob and it falls right into the bundt pan. And so you have your corn, it's not all over the place. Yeah, kind of a neat little trick. Remember to keep a little bit of stubby up here for yourself when you husk it, to be able to do that. But there you can see we've got our corn off the cob. Another thing is, right here in front of us, I know it's ugly, but it's a bowl. Everybody has to have a garbage bowl to put stuff in. So you need just a cheapy plastic bowl right there, and your garbage goes in. We now have 4 cups of corn off the cob here in this bundt pan, and I'm going to pass it over to Brock, who's been working with 2 or 3 slices of bacon. In fact, I think I only gave him 2 because it was so big. Normally about 3 slices of bacon. We'll pass this over to Brock, and he's going to put it in his bacon.
Hey! Sure.
Char it up.
We're going to char this bacon up in the handy dandy cast iron skillet here. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, I would strongly suggest you go to your local retail store and check out some cast iron. It's some of the most versatile tools you can have in your kitchen. Cook
Garage
everything
sales.
in it. Yeah, garage sales.
That's where to find them.
Great place to find them. And but you can bake in them, fry in them. I would suggest starting out with a 12-inch pan and getting everything you need. This is also a good little thing. These little handle covers that go on the cast iron, so you can pick it up. Keeps the handle cool. So what I'm going to do here is I just added the corn to the bacon, and he only gave me 2 pieces of bacon, but more bacon is better. Okay? There's no question. More bacon is better. Everything's better with more bacon. So we're going to put a quick sear on this corn. We're going to get it brown. You can turn your heat up a little bit, and we're going to stir this all in and get this a little bit crispy. You don't want it to pop like popcorn. So, although, will it pop like popcorn there, Dad?
It will.
Okay. So, give that about 30 seconds or 40 seconds on one side. Stir it up a little bit, and we'll go from there. So.
Okay.
Oh!
While Brock's doing that,
I'm being messy, yes.
Yeah, while Brock's doing that, Amanda's going to start on the dressing, and while she's doing the dressing, I'm going to work on the other vegetables over here, but we'll talk about those when she's done.
So for the dressing, we're going to start with olive oil, which should always be your base for vinaigrettes, dressings, that type of thing. Got my measuring cup down here, so we're going to do 1/2 cup of olive oil. And then after that, we're going to do 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. I hope I have enough.
There's a new bottle.
There we go. So we'll start in there with those 2 things as our base. And then we're going to add a little lime juice, which gives it a little zest. And that's going to be 2 tablespoons of lime juice that you're going to use. I'm just going to squeeze it over there. And it's probably about one lime, one small lime will get you about 2 tablespoons. And then we are going to zest some lime into there, about a teaspoon of that. But you can eyeball it. You know, that's kind of to your taste. If you're not into the lime zest, you can do less. If you want more, it's all up to you. That looks good. And then we are going to add some garlic, which is the best part of the dressing, in my opinion. Could eat way more than 1 clove, but we're gonna do 1 clove of garlic. Mash that right into there. And then just for a little extra kick, we are gonna add a teaspoon of, half a teaspoon of sriracha. Again, this is to your taste. If you want it a little more spicy, do some more. If you can also leave it out if you're not into the spice. I'm going to add just a little bit more because I like the spice. So, and then what you can do is whisk this in your mixing or your measuring cup. But our favorite trick is to dump it into a mason jar, put on the lid. Hopefully I've got it on good. That could be a mess. And then shake it up. And it's real easy to do. That way you don't have to sit there mixing. And you've got it in your container for later because we probably won't use all of this. And you can use it for a salad or another, you know, dressing on something else later. But we're all finished with that. Now we just got to finish up the salad. How's it going over there, Grandpa?
Well, I'm going fine. How's the corn doing?
The corn is ready to transfer into our bowl. Amanda, could you help me here?
Yes, I can.
All right. I'm going to flip this over.
Oh, man, it smells so good.
And I'm going to flip this. Amanda, if you would scoop that into the bowl, that would be great. It's just got a little bit of a brown on there.
Got to get all the...
Hold on just a second here.
We're losing the bacon.
Stop, don't lose the bacon. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Get all these little crispy bits.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh,
There you go.
I wasn't done.
You got messy. There you go. That's all right. Got to make a little bit of a mess sometimes. I tell you what, you're not cooking if you're not making a little bit of a mess sometimes.
Okay, so how do I get the corn? Normally, we would probably let this cool a little bit, but we want to keep moving here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take about 2 cups of grape tomatoes, which I've cut in half here, and those go in to the mixture. And we've got a little bit of jalapeno here. Kind of got pushed together there. Now, one of the things everybody should know. Okay, this is what you need. You need a good chef's knife, and it should be sharp. Now, I watch people, and they take it like this, and they try to do it. That's not the way to use a chef's knife. Thumb and index finger on the blade, rest your palm of your hand on the handle, and then you can chop. Now, the second thing you want to do is, you want to know where your fingers are. So take your fingers,
Yes.
tuck your fingers back, and you slide the knife off of your knuckles. You won't cut yourself. Although, I did cut myself on TV. That's another story. Okay, so we got a little jalapeno there to go in. We've got some green peppers here. We're going to do the same thing. Remember, thumb, index finger on the handle. And you can just go right down there and just keep those fingers out of the way. You can chop that stuff right up. So easy.
I haven't quite mastered the fast chop like that.
It's not difficult once you do it. Okay, so we got green pepper we're going to put in. There's our green pepper. Over here we've got about 4 green onions. Now I like to slice the green onions rather than straight away. I like to slice them a little bit on a diagonal.
It looks
And
so
don't
good.
ask me why, because it just looks cool, I guess. Huh? And they don't have, this doesn't have to be a real fine chop. It could be a rough chop because you see how big your tomatoes are and how big the, oops, I missed that one right there. How big the green pepper is. So we put that, goes in next. And now for the final touch, a little fresh basil. Just went out and picked this right off my deck. Going out there in a big pot. A little fresh basil. Now, basil, we want to kind of roll it up. You know what they call this, Amanda? When you cut it this way, Brock?
No.
Teach me.
Tell us.
Well, did you hear everybody say anything about chepinade? That's what you're doing.
Ah.
See, I always cut them like that, but I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, that's what you call it. Some French guy probably came up with that. You know, we could have just called cutting it on an angle, but there we go. And now, I think Brock, you got the spatula over there. You can give that a quick. We'll just
There you go.
We'll just do this.
Yeah.
Give it a quick toss. Over to Amanda.
Yes.
Now, like she said, she made a lot of dressing, so the recipe has quite a bit of dressing, but don't overdress it.
I would
The worst
say,
thing
yeah.
you can do to a salad. Then we'll
About-
mix it up, and
about
you
a
know,
quarter.
you got to kind of feel for it. You got to have a feel for it. There you go.
Oh yeah, I think that looks
Yeah,
perfect.
looks good to me.
Oh, it smells so good. I'm so hungry.
Okay, so now we've made a total mess of the kitchen, which the cameraman, he has to clean the kitchen. By the way, you didn't introduce the cameraman.
Oh yeah, behind the camera is my husband Chris. He's a little cutie, but he's not on oh gosh, stop.
We have a little discussion about the cutie part, but he's a nice guy, but cute we're not quite sure about, okay?
That's why we put him behind the camera, right? All right, there is the finished product. Looks so good.
When do we eat?
Yeah.
Wait, anytime we want, okay? That's it, that's the
Don't we
first-
have to refrigerate that?
Yeah. Yeah, we want that to be in the refrigerator.
One
about-
last thing, don't forget that.
One last thing, let's not
You
forget
don't
that.
actually serve it warm. Put it in the refrigerator a couple hours. Let everything get to know itself. This is the first episode of Cooking Together Generations.
Yes.
You noticed we had 3 placemats here. Today we don't have any guests, but in the future when we do things, we will have guests. So if you'd like to be a guest, go to Cooking Together,
www.
generations.com and let us know you want to be
or
a guest.
or
On
cookingtogether.com.
Or on Facebook.
On Facebook, Generations, Cooking Together Generations on Facebook, Cooking Together Generations on Instagram and YouTube,
Yes,
correct?
YouTube is on. That's where you're gonna find all our videos. We'll post them to Facebook as well. But stay tuned for more recipes.
But if you'd like to join us, let's let us know and we'll have you join us for the recipes we're doing. Okay? I think
Awesome.
that's it, guys. That's a wrap.
Cheers.
Cheers.
As we say in the biz, that's a wrap.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Keep cooking.
Together.
Yes.